Right, let's talk about Father Christmas again. We've already spoken about how he survives at altitude, but we have figured out that actually maybe acceleration is going to be more of a problem with him, because he's going to have to be going at 10,000 miles a second, which is incredibly fast. And just putting aside the speed, he's going to have to get up to that speed, and the actual acceleration is going to have a huge effect on his body. So firstly, let's talk about acceleration itself. We sometimes talk about g-force. That's a little bit of a misnomer. It's not technically a force, but it's about the increase in speed, or it can be related to turning. Previous calculations were based on an average speed of 1,000 miles a second. If he stops for even 1 second in every house, that's an extra 65,000 hours that it's going to take him to deliver the presents. He obviously doesn't have 65,000 hours, so he's surely just going to have to keep going. Quite how he gets the presents into the houses, not entirely sure. I guess either he'll send a helper down, or maybe he'll just run down the chimney really fast and back up again at 10,000 miles a second. I guess he could have some sort of time distortion device, but we know time travel's impossible, so he obviously has to go at 10,000 miles a second. So firstly, what does acceleration do to your body? Well, you can feel it. If you're speeding up in a car, you can feel it on your body. If you're in a plane, you can feel it. And the effect that it has on your body will depend on how much acceleration. So a small amount of acceleration, you'll feel it, but a large amount of acceleration, you'll be passing out within about 5 seconds. Well, why do you pass out with acceleration? It's to do with the physical effects of the acceleration, essentially pushing your blood pressure down. That means you can't get enough blood around your body, you can't get enough blood to your brain, and you'll pass out. Why does it take those few seconds to pass out? Well, it's because your body does have enough oxygen just to keep you running for that few seconds. You might have heard the term blackout and grey out before, and that's where your vision goes grey out, where you can't see properly, and then blackout, where you can't see at all. And that's because your body doesn't have enough oxygen to supply your brain and keep your vision going, and you'll pass out shortly after your vision goes. How does Father Christmas get around it? One issue, like we said, is about the physical effects of the acceleration pushing your blood pressure down. We do have a mechanism to try and counter that, to bring your blood pressure back up. It stands to reason then, presumably, Father Christmas just has a massively more efficient version. So, in all honesty, his blood pressure is probably a little bit high anyway, with all those mince pies and whatnot. But it's not just that his blood pressure is permanently high, he probably has a natural mechanism which is far more efficient and far better at compensating than we are for the acceleration. So, as the acceleration forces his blood pressure down, he's got this other compensatory mechanism to force his blood pressure up. So his blood pressure stays where it is, even though, for us, we basically wouldn't have a blood pressure at that acceleration. And the other thing is about the oxygen reserve that we have to keep us conscious when our blood pressure does drop. We already know from how he copes with altitude that he has a very effective respiratory system, and he probably has much more functional oxygen reserve than we do. The final thing not to overlook is that we do know that Father Christmas has a very special suit. Need I say more? I mean, he's clearly basically a spacesuit, isn't it? Anyway, that's enough of that. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. In particular, what do you think about his suit? What's that doing? And how does he get the presents in the houses when he's going that fast? Remember, if you enjoyed the videos, click the like button, subscribe and share the links. The number of subscribers are slowly ticking up. It's looking really good. Thank you so much. Let's see if we can get to 100 by Christmas. I'll see you tomorrow.